Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a super deep dive into the massive technological pivot hidden right inside Meta's latest financial results for the end of 2025. We're definitely going to break down the numbers, but more importantly, we are going to uncover the blueprint for what Mark Zuckerberg believes is the absolute future of human connection and computing. So, let's get right into it. All right, I want to start things off with a quick question for you. What costs up to $135 billion and wants to deeply understand your personal context? Sounds like a weird riddle, right? But it's actually the staggering reality of Meta's upcoming capital investments. To put that into perspective, they are pouring more money into a single year than the entire GDP of some countries. They're basically betting the house on an AI-driven future, and the sheer scale of this transition is literally unlike anything we've ever seen. So to make sense of the whole shebang, here is our agenda. First, a blockbuster quarter. Then, AI supercharges the core. Next, building personal superintelligence. After that, the pivot to wearables. And finally, meta compute and mega CapEx. We're going to zoom in on the granular AI tech and then zoom all the way out to the physical infrastructure building this future. Okay, part one, a blockbuster quarter. We'll look at the macro numbers and their present success. Before we can even talk about Meta's future, we really have to understand the astronomical engine that's funding it today. 3.58 billion. That is Meta's daily active people metric for December 2025. Just let that sink in for a second. That means nearly half of the entire human population on Earth is opening at least one of Meta's apps, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or Threads, every single day. Operating at this crazy level of human scale provides a foundation that you just won't find anywhere else in the tech world. And all those daily users, well, they translate directly into some massive financial numbers. In the fourth quarter alone, Meta brought in almost $60 billion in revenue, which is up 24% year over year. But here is the truly wild part. They're operating at a massive 41% margin. For a company that's been around this long, that level of profitability is just unheard of. It drove nearly $23 billion in pure net income for just one quarter. It's this incredibly profitable, highly efficient cash cow that gives them the war chest to actually fund the multi-billion-dollar future vision we're about to explore. Let's move to part two. AI supercharges the core. How AI is driving this current financial success. So how exactly is Meta generating all this success right now? It's directly linked to an aggressive shift happening under the hood in your apps. We're moving away from those old, primitive algorithms that basically just shuffle existing content in a feed. Instead, we're moving toward agentic AI. What that means is AI that doesn't just wait around for you to type a prompt, but actively works on your behalf. Pretty soon, you won't just open Instagram to passively scroll. You'll open it to an AI that deeply understands your personal goals and can even generate custom, highly personalized media for you right there on the spot. But you gotta wonder, does this shiny new tech actually make money? Well, according to CFO Susan Lee, the combined revenue run rate of their video generation tools just hit $10 billion in Q4. Now, run rate basically means if you stretch that quarter's performance over a full year, it's a $10 billion business. So yeah, that absolutely passes the so what check. AI isn't just some fun consumer novelty anymore. It's having a direct, tangible, and massive financial impact on their core advertising engine today. And this AI revolution isn't just outward-facing. Internally, AI is fundamentally changing how Meta builds Meta. Internal power users of their agentic coding tools are seeing up to an 80% increase in productivity year over year. Just think about what that means for a tech giant. Software projects that used to require huge, sprawling teams and months of coordination, they're now being knocked out by a single, highly talented engineer empowered by an AI assistant. It's an absolute efficiency multiplier. All right, part three. Building personal superintelligence, the next evolution of consumer technology. This brings us to Meta's grand vision for the future, personal superintelligence. But the specific definition here is absolutely crucial. Mark Zuckerberg emphasized that an AI agent's true value comes from the unique context it can see. We're talking about your personal history, your content, your close relationships. This right here is Meta's secret weapon. Because they already manage your digital ecosystem through Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram, they believe they can provide a uniquely personalized AI experience that literally nobody else, not ChatGPT, not Google, can perfectly replicate. And we're already seeing this roll out in real-world, everyday applications. For example, they're live with AI video dubbing in 9 different languages right now. It's seamlessly bridging communication gaps and driving millions of new views. They're also pushing agentic shopping, where an AI actively helps you hunt down the exact pair of shoes you need. And it's huge for business, too. They already have over 1 million weekly conversations happening with business AIs on WhatsApp in markets like Mexico and the Philippines. That means small businesses can suddenly offer 24/7 automated customer support. It's a game changer. Now for part 4, the pivot to wearables, bringing AI into the physical world.
Okay, so having a personal superintelligence is great, but looking down at a glass screen all day, that's a serious bottleneck. Meta wants to bring this AI directly into your physical reality, but doing that is incredibly expensive. In 2025, Meta's Reality Labs division posted a jaw-dropping operating loss of $19.1 billion. Now, the only reason Wall Street even allows a $19 billion loss is because their core ads business is so wildly profitable. But the good news? Meta expects this to be the peak of their hardware losses. They're planning to rebalance their portfolio, leaning heavily into smart glasses while pulling back slightly on those bulky VR headsets.
To justify this massive $19 billion bet, Zuckerberg used a brilliant metaphor on the earnings call. He essentially compared our current moment to the transition from flip phones to smartphones. Think about it. Billions of people already wear glasses every single day for vision correction. Pretty soon, it's going to be hard to imagine a world where the glasses you wear aren't AI glasses. We're talking about lightweight frames that can see exactly what you see, translate languages you hear in real time, and project custom, helpful interfaces right into your line of sight. Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, Meta Compute and Megacap X, the physical infrastructure of the future. All of this new software and all of this new hardware requires an unfathomable amount of processing power. The trajectory here is just jaw-dropping. Their capital expenditures went from $37.2 billion in 2024 to $72.2 billion in 2025. And for 2026, they're estimating a staggering range between $115 and $135 billion. That's a midpoint of $125 billion being poured directly into servers, data centers, and network infrastructure in a single year. That is literally space program level money, dedicated entirely to computing power. To actually manage this unprecedented spending, they've launched an initiative called Meta Compute. The goal is to turn physical infrastructure into an unbeatable competitive advantage. They're diversifying their chips, buying heavily from NVIDIA and AMD, but they're also building their own custom silicon known as MTIA. But here's the catch. Chips need power. And it's gotten so massive that Meta is actually hiring former government officials to partner with sovereign nations. Why? Just to secure the massive energy grids and real estate they'll need for the data centers of the coming decade. Wild, right? Which leaves us with this final thought. We've seen the incredible revenue, the shift to agentic AI, the pivot to smart glasses, and that $135 billion infrastructure bet. What you should really take away from all this is that Meta isn't just trying to build better social media apps anymore. They are trying to build the next dominant computing platform for humanity. So, I'm going to leave you to ponder this. Will Meta's multi-billion-dollar AI gamble actually make the smartphone in your pocket obsolete? Are we all just walking around holding modern flip phones? It's a fascinating question, and one we're definitely going to be watching closely as 2026 unfolds. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.